Hi, everybody. I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right. This one is called Father Knows Best. Yes. Oh man, my father was a great man to me, and to all my siblings too. But we were terrified of my father at first. We because of my mother. She would threaten us by saying, "Hey, I'm gonna tell your daddy on you." She would constantly tell us that. And when he would come, we would straighten up. We would straighten up and look at each other and stuff like that because we were terrified. But my father was actually a nice guy. My father, he taught me a lot of things, that I still do today, that I still adhere to today, because look, me and my father got the same name. I'm Junior. He's Senior. Okay. So I would ask my father. I say, "What's your name? What's your name again?" He said, "My name is James." He said, and I said, "My name James." He said, He said, "I know. I named you after me. Okay, after me." So that's the first thing like that. He said he named me after him. But I thought that was kind of cool. Then when I my first day of school, when I went to school, well, my second day of school, my father made it a point to take me to school, and we had matching flannel shirts on. It was matching flannel shirts. I remember that clearly. We had matching flannel shirts, and he had me by my hand, and we go up in the school, and he left me there. Oh yeah. Then there was another time when we built a doghouse. We built a doghouse for my dog, for our dog named Gino. He was a German Shepherd. So I didn't know what I was doing out there, but I had a little hammer trying to help him. But we built a doghouse. He built a doghouse rather for Gino, and it was cool. Then early in the morning, one day my father had a work ethic, a strong work ethic. He would work for hours, hours. He would never be home during the day. He would come home like late at night, like maybe 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, or something like that. But this particular day, he came home and it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and he came home and he went in there and changed, and he came in my room and woke me up. He said, "Junior, get up, get up, get up." And I thought I was in trouble or something. I was like, so I got up. He said, "Come on, let's go." I said, "Where we going? Where we going?" He said, "Come on, we going fishing." So we drove out to Wolf Lake. It was like at the Indiana Illinois border, like between Illinois and Indiana. Wolf Lake. We went to Wolf Lake and fished. We went out there for a couple of hours, and that was special. It was just me and him. We went fishing, and he taught me how to bait a hook, how to cast out there, and everything. And I caught a couple of bluegills too. So yeah, I caught a couple of bluegills. Yeah. Then I remember I saw this commercial with the Tonka trucks. Okay, with the elephants stepping on the trucks, and the trucks never broke. And I wanted one so bad, and I was telling my mother about it. My father was sitting in there, and he heard it apparently, the next day he went and got me one of those Tonka trucks, you know. So, and that was special to me, man, because I love that truck, you know. Then my father taught me how to ride a bike. I remember he was teaching my sister how to ride, and he was behind her, running behind, holding up to the back seat, and he let her go, and I think she fell into the shrubs or something, and she didn't want to try it no more. She didn't want to try it no more. But then he came to me, and he put me, because they bought us bicycles, you know. So he got behind me and was running behind me. He said, "Come on, Jun Jun." He used to call me Jun Jun, you know. "Come on, Jun Jun." "Come on, steer it, steer it." And I was trying to steer the bike, and he let me go, and I didn't even know he had let me go. He said, "Keep looking straight, keep looking straight." And then he let me go. And I didn't know he let me go, but I was riding. And when I finally realized he wasn't holding on, that's when I failed. But that that is when I learned how to ride a bike, you know. My father taught me, you know. So yes, yes, yes. Man, it was crazy about how I fell down, you know. I fell after I realized that he was holding it. But then when I turned around and I came back, I was able to pedal on my own and balance myself, you know. Then my father taught me how to tie my shoes. He taught me how to tie, put a loop, and swoop. So he kept telling me to do that, kept telling me to do that over and over and over and over. And I couldn't get it right too quick, you know. But then I finally got it, you know. You know, my father was I thought he was hard, you know, because he would never he would never hug me. He would never pick me up, and he would never tell me he loved me, you know. But my sisters, he would pick them up and everything, you know. And I would try to come running up to him. He wouldn't pick me up. He'd put his hand out. He would shake my hand, you know. I don't know, but I guess he was trying to teach me how to be a man, you know, trying to, you know, mold me in some way to be a man. But he never picked me up and hugged me or nothing like that, you know. But coming around the time when he got sick, he came to town. See, my father was in Alabama at the time, you know, but we were grown. We were old enough to fend for ourselves. Actually, we were out. My sister was out fending for herself, and we all was out. You know, my little sister and little brother stayed with us. You know, so what? Once I he came to town, and he he had got kind of small, a little bit. You know, and so I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, I'm okay. I'm okay." So he said, "Oh, okay." So he came into my house and he got a chance to meet my oldest daughter, my first daughter. He got to meet my firstborn, you know, and she took to him well. She jumped right up in his lap and everything, you know. And then after that, after he spent 2 days with me, 2 days, 2 days, and we laughed and joked and talked about old times and everything. Then after that, my uncle came to my house to pick him up so they can go back to his house so they can go back to Alabama. And my father, keep in mind, I told y'all he never hugged me or nothing like that. So this time I was older, you know, and I said, "Okay, Dad." He reached out and we shook hands and I pulled him in and I hugged him. I told him, I love you, man." And he said, "Yeah, I love you too." That's what he said. And that really touched me. That really touched my heart when he said he loved me back, you know. It was crazy, man. But after that, he was leaving and my daughter, he hugged my daughter too. He hugged her and and then they left, and shortly after that, then he passed away. So it was crazy, man. Then I end up have to go down to Alabama for his burial and stuff like that. But after that, man, that really hurt me mentally because he was the closest thing to family that passed away. You know, so when he passed, man, that really hurt me. I was messed up for like about a month. Really, I was messed up for about a month. And then I finally slowly started coming around. I guess I was grieving us and stuff like that. But I had to try to tell my daughter, what happened. That granddaddy is gone. But man, but he left a great impression on me. A real great impression on me. It taught me to work hard. It taught me how to survive. He taught me how to build stuff, how to work on cars. Like he used to work on his car. I used to sit right next to him, and I used to try to take a screwdriver or something. He said, "No, don't do that." So I said, "Can I sit there and watch?" He said, "You can watch me while he's changing the oil or changing the spark plugs in the car and stuff." I would watch. I sit there and watch. And a lot of young people don't watch older men doing stuff like that. They just bring their car into you and let you work on it, and they go on about their business. But I'm telling you, man, you need a father in the family, okay? And I know a lot of you women out here say that you can do it on your own and stuff like that. But if you don't have no choice, you got to do it. You got to raise them on your own. But there's got to be a male somewhere around you that can step up to his father's place and tell these kids how to be a man. Because if they're around women all the time, they're gonna start taking on women traits. Okay, that's all I'm saying. They need a man to guide them. The right man, a man with his head on his shoulders. Okay, right. All right, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with your family. Share it with your friends. Share it with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. All right, y'all. Peace. Adios. Salamet.
Salamat!